Let's pay the illegals, let's pay the homeless, and let's pay for votes. Thank you, President Biden. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, March the 3rd. And of course, what a week it was. Another big up week in the markets. And the markets know no fear. They continue to charge higher. And hey, we'll get to that in our market report. But a lot of things during the week. And of course, the big stories are that Maryland has passed a bill or trying to pass a bill to pay for all the health care for the illegals. Of course, we Americans who live here and pay the taxes and do everything else can't get good health care, but they want to make sure that they take care of the illegals. I wonder if it has something to do with getting some more votes. And of course, they're now wanting to pay in New York. They're wanting to pay the illegals a stipend of $1,500 a month. And of course, they want to pay the homeless in certain places $1,500 a month. Gee, isn't that nice? Listen, let's not get a job and become illegal, and then we can be void of all laws and don't have to do anything. We can just steal to our heart's content. We can sell drugs. We can do it all, and with no risk, and get a stipend from the government. Of course, most of you forget that there ain't no free money from the government. You and me, the taxpayer, get the benefit of paying for it. But yet, let's keep giving it away because we have so much. I mean, listen, we're not $34 or $38 trillion in debt. We're not falling apart in this country. Okay, the country is wonderful. The once greatest country in the world, the United States of America, has become the great sewer. And of course, this has been going on for many years, but thanks to our wonderful president, things have accelerated into being the most violent. And of course, if you heard the comment the other day, which was that President Biden says in his administration, crime and violence have gone dramatically lower. Well, I don't know. I think we could all argue with that point because, of course, we all know that it's never been so violent. There's never been so much hatred. There's never been so much racism in this country ever. Okay, you can go back to the times when there was racism. It was somewhat accepted. This is as bad as it gets, and of course, President Biden doesn't give a shit about any of it. Okay, because he's actually promoting it, or I can't say he is because I don't think he knows where he's at, but I think his people are. Okay, a federal judge just blocked Texas law of taking care of their own border. Now, if you have ever taken the time to read the Constitution, okay, the government is run city, county, state, and the federal government originally was just supposed to be an overseer, okay, not a dictator telling a state what they can and cannot do. I'm all for Texas blocking the border. I'm all for blocking the borders altogether. I'm all for keeping the illegals out of this country. And if they want to come in, let them come in legally. Okay, I am tired myself of paying my taxes for bullshit. But we will get more of that in our commentary later. And of course, as we said here, okay, in 2019, when the first case or whatever of COVID came out, we called it chemical warfare from China. And now, of course, the evidence is coming out that COVID was created in a lab in China, and it was bio-warfare or chemical warfare, whatever you want to call it. It is a bunch of bullshit. And of course, the numbers bear me out, but nobody ever wants to listen to the numbers. They want to listen to the bullshit fed to you by the politicians and by the crap, because again, if you take the number of cold and flu, okay, and you take the number of cold, flu, and COVID, and you add them together, they come up to the same numbers with the same increase year over year and the same growth. So we can call it COVID so that the hospitals and the medical field can steal more money, so we can make up these bullshit vaccines, okay? And of course, it has become a lot of political fodder now about the vaccines and what's going on with it, because as it turned out that we were exactly correct when we said it, that COVID is bullshit and it was a man-made disease. It was more sent over to do a lot of damage politically and financially, not for anything else. It was really given the control to turn this country into a communist or a Marxist or a socialist country, and not really meant to do anything else. Okay, and of course now we have the Democrats on the campuses starting to pay people to get voters registered. Okay. Now, again, I have no problem with getting voters registered. It would be nice if in this country, if you would represent yourself, whoever you vote for, and I don't really care who you vote for. Okay. I care that you get off your lazy dead ass and vote. It's just like if you're on unemployment, get off your lazy dead ass and get a job, because supposedly there's tons of jobs available. Okay. Now, again, we all know about the layoffs from UPS and from PlayStation and from Amazon and from Meta and other great companies. Okay. But of course, they keep telling us how good the jobs are. Then get a job. Okay. Get off the unemployment, get off the company payroll and get a job. Okay. And let's not start already creating our own voters, because of course you can see who's obviously paying these people to bring in new voters. And of course, they're bringing them in. And I think that's one of the things that concerns me the most, is not who's running for president, but that you would think that the Biden administration would have some concern of what's going on in this next election. Of course, they seem to have no concern, like there's no danger. Well, you've got a president with one of the lowest, if not the lowest, approval ratings of all time. You've got economy, although the stock market's going higher. How many of you actually benefit from the stock market? Okay. So you have a world of trouble and lots of problems, not to mention the violence, the stealing. In fact, in certain places, you have to go shopping with a security guard. Okay. And of course, the stealing will continue because nobody cares. Okay. And of course, ISM manufacturing, 16th consecutive month, much weaker than expected. And all that is really telling you, if you really look behind the scenes, is that we are losing our jobs and we're replacing them with shit jobs. You're taking away good jobs and replacing them with lower paying jobs, once again, so that the government, the federal government, can take more control. Okay. I mean, and how about the sanction irony? That the ridiculous sanctions that we all are that is being pretended to be put on Russia, okay, and Russia has never flourished so much because they've been able to circumvent the SWIFT bank transfer system, and of course that's got a lot to do with the cryptocurrency world and other things. But Iran and Russia, their business is soaring and they are trading like crazy, okay. And the biggest question I really have is, why are we so reliant on China for our biosecurity? I mean, why are we so reliant on buying our prescription drugs from China? You know, China is not our friend. China is not an ally. Okay. China is, and maybe we'll call them a frenemy, a friendly enemy. Okay. And of course, they're trying to take over the world. And thank you, President Biden, for helping them take over as much as they can, because God forbid that we would actually stand up to anybody and try to take care of business. It has really been a problem. And of course, the big news of the week is they are no longer calling the illegal immigrants illegals. They are calling them newcomers, so they can actually fund them. And you gotta ask yourself, you, the American taxpayer, are you happy with funding illegal immigrants out of your tax dollar? I can say for one, I'm not, but if you are, hey, God bless. I can't tell you how to think, but I have to say there's probably something wrong with you if you're willing to pay more taxes to bring in more drugs, more illegals, more criminals, and more killers. This is Bubba's Bottom Line, Todd Bubba Horowitz. And we're going to step out here for a break. We'll be back with our market update right after the break. Well, kids, of course, you know, we've got our sponsors and their brokerage partners. And again, hey, I have other brokers, and I'm telling you just that I vetted these brokers, that if you want to check them out, listen, there's no requirement. It's just they sponsor the show, and I share them with you because they're great to me. And that is Capital Trading Group, who is our partners in a couple of our futures programs. And remember, when you're getting a broker or you're shopping for a broker, don't look for a superstore. Look for a futures broker and look for an options and equity broker, because at the end of the day, you will get much better service and you'll be much happier. The Capital Trading Group, greatest futures broker, great customer service, handles all of our business and takes care of it very well. Check them out, info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And of course, for equities and stock and options, there's nothing like tradier brokerage. Look, they get great customer service. They tie into our automation of trading. Our equity portfolio models are free. Our hedging models have a licensing fee, but your cost from trader stays at $10 a month flat. Okay. Pretty damn good deal. It's try.trader.com/Bubba. And of course, Wealth Charts, our new partner who's a platform and tied into some of the brokers. Check them out. And of course, I'm doing webinars for them as well now. And guys, don't forget about our high school program. God forbid we should educate our children and give them some idea of what financial literacy is all about. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and, of course, our market update. This is Todd Bubba Horowitz. We'll be right back with Bubba's Market Update. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, March the 3rd. And, of course, the markets continue to soar. It is interesting. It is unbelievable to watch. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Again, this is one of the things you learn. You don't fight the tape of the market. You don't fight what's going on. So as it be, the market were up. The Dow was up. The S&P was up another 50 points last week, which is another 1%. And they continue to soar. Now, again, obviously, it's only a few stocks. So, in fact, some of the big ones were down last week, like Apple and others. But again, you can't argue with what's going on. And I'm not telling you that you should be short the market. I'm telling you that, listen, you know that we're hedging. And we believe that the markets do go up 8.5% year over year. So why fight it? In the meantime, in our positions, the direction in which we are right now is long all four major indices. Okay. And we'll continue to be there until obviously that changes. Now, for those of you who listen to Bubba's Day Update, we do go flat some days, depending on what the trend is, which has worked out very well. Where we've missed some of the big chops in our face. But anyways, it's something that we do now. In the dollar, the U.S. dollar, we would be short the dollar. Okay. The euro currency, we are long. Bitcoin, we are long, which you've seen the move in Bitcoin. And I think it's only going to get bigger, just for those of you who watch it, because, of course, all the new ETFs, which then now have, as much as the government yelled and cried and tried about the cryptocurrency, supposedly, I don't have fact on this, but supposedly they are the fourth largest shareholder or crypto holder of Bitcoin in the world. Okay. As I told you, that was a piece of shit, and everybody else showed you how bad it was. And I assure you, if you look deep into Warren Buffett's portfolio, you'll find there's a lot of crypto in there as well. In the meantime, Bitcoin continues to go higher. Bonds and notes, we're still short. They've been choppy, trying to push a little bit higher, but they're just, again, interest rates are going higher. There's no way that they can be cutting interest rates here. And of course, as you continue to watch and we hear this BS. So again, I would continue to be short the treasuries, and we are. Golds and silver, we're long. And I think that you saw a nice move on gold on Friday and silver. I look for this to continue. And somebody once asked me during the, why are you short gold? Well, again, we don't have an opinion. We're trading a trend. Okay. So at least use your mind in your head for more than a hat rack once in a while. Just because you're a gold bug, okay, and you want to tell me that you got to be long gold all the time. You don't have to be long gold all the time. Okay. You have to trade the market if you're trading. Okay. If you want to just own gold and be an investor, hey, great. I got no problem. I do. I own gold all the time. Okay. I own physical notes, but that's besides the point. In the meantime, copper is continuing to kind of go higher, which is ridiculous, but again, we're long, so it's okay. Natural gas continues to get hammered, and we're still short. Crude oil popped above 80. It didn't quite hold 80, but it did pop above it on Friday for quite a while. In fact, almost got to 81. And of course, Saudi Arabia, OPEC cut production this week. So we'll see. I don't think the economy can support it, but we'll see. Grain markets continue to struggle and be under pressure. And Jesus, it's unbelievable. When you look at the cost of retail, and a box of cereal is $10, and you look at the cost at wholesale, corn is under $4. It's kind of disgusting when you think about it, because somebody's making a lot of money in between the farmer and the retail and the consumer. So I don't know. In the meantime, we're still short grains. Cattle continues to make new highs, and it is unbelievable. Who can pay for it? Okay, this is where we have a problem. In the meantime, we don't trade it anymore. I am shorted personally, but the trend would be higher. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. But again, we're at all-time highs. Hogs continue to try to charge higher, and of course, we would be long hogs if we traded them. In the softs, cocoa is still higher, and we're still long. Cotton hit a little bit of a sell-off, but again, it got back to a buck, which you'd expect a little bit of a sell-off. Sugar got hammered late in the week last week. We're short. OJ's getting hammered. We're short, and coffee's getting hammered. We're short there as well. And again, I just think that there's no reason to get overly involved. We had a great day trading week last week. Had a great year so far, but no losers last week. And, we trade every day. But at the end of the day, again, don't fight it. Okay. Again, the markets are going to go where they're going to go. Don't get in the way of them until the trend changes. And if you feel compelled right now to be short, then unless you have a stock specific because it should be short or you can't control yourself, then sit it out. Okay. Unless you have a reason to do so. Better to observe sometimes. It's what we have a saying here. Better to wish you were in a trade than to wish you were not. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line, top of our. We're going to step out of a break and come back with our commentary right after the break. Bubba's Bottom Line. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, March the 3rd. And of course, I didn't go through the sponsors, but we'll go through them next time. In the meantime, as we opened up with, we talked about what's going on in this country. And I have to ask you, as an American, as a taxpayer, okay, are you happy with the way that government in general spends your money? It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat. They all rip you off. They all are stealing your money. They've all got some money somewhere that they're taking through the lobbyists or whatever they're doing. So are you happy that illegal immigrants are now being called newcomers, and there are states and cities that want to start giving them $1,500 a month, okay, of your money? It's not their money. It's not the state's money. It's not the federal government's money. It's your money because it's tax money. Are you happy that Maryland passed a bill that says that they're going to give health care to these people? Are you happy that in other places they want to start paying homeless people, okay, a stipend? Okay. Now, again, I feel bad if you're truly homeless because you couldn't do anything better, then I'm truly sad for you. But I find that many of them work harder trying to grift, okay, and trying to beg them for money. I mean, there was a 60-minute special 40 years ago about this, about how much money some of these people make. Now, it's kind of hard for me to, when I watch homeless, for example, and they're wearing a brand new pair of Nikes that are $150 in the store. Okay, it doesn't make a lot of sense when you think about it. But again, forget about all that. Okay, I'm all for helping those that really need. But if you look at the history and the scamming of the Americans, mostly by a lot of illegals, a lot of people that understand the laws better than Americans understand them, okay, and know how to grift the system, do you think that you want to start giving more of your tax dollars away? Me, I don't want to, okay? I think that we have a big problem and we keep giving away too much of our own dough, okay? I'd like to keep mine. What about you? This is Bubba's Bottom Line, top of Horowitz. It is Sunday, March the 3rd. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy. Not a lot of stuff. We got March Madness coming up, though, so we'll have a lot of picks for you then. And, of course, the Masters. But until then, have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you back here tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you later.